This afternoon, we're going to look at some new clips from Jack Mallers. The thing that a lot of you are going to say is that Jack Mallers is the biggest Bitcoin maximalist in the world. We are the XRP army, so why should we listen to him? It's true that this person can explain Bitcoin information in a way that a lot of people can understand. There is a flip that you can turn off in your head that basically changes a Bitcoin with XRP. This will help you understand what he's saying better, since the ideas he's using for Bitcoin are also useful for XRP. That's exactly why I'm giving you today's film. As I speak, please bear with me and listen to what Jack Mallers has to say. I believe it will be very helpful for many of you in the XRP army back home. Let's start. Being an owner of bonds and stocks will not help you win or stay alive. The 60-40 split is no longer a thing, dead to the world. You need to make room for Bitcoin. This is also thought by Harvard. This tweet was nice. It's more possible that Bitcoin will hit 100K or more in 2018. Harvard buys more than $100 million worth of Bitcoin at over $100,000 in 2025. Bitcoin costs what it's worth for everyone. This is here. This is it, guys. You could print it on a t-shirt and tell people to be humble and stack sats. This is it. The 6440 accounts are no longer alive. People in the United States are actually putting Bitcoin into their 401ks. Now, I want to make a very strong case for XRP ETFs and the fact that wealth planners are pushing XRP for 401k retirement plans. All of this is happening right now. It seems like Harvard, BlackRock, and Grayscale are all focused on Bitcoin, and people are forgetting about XRP. When Bitcoin was in 2018, some people said it was more likely to hit $100,000 than $100,000 per coin. This is where XRP is now. With everyone's attention on Bitcoin right now, the golden goose, which has already grown its market capitalization by a huge amount, we have a chance to get ahead of the curve and skip the liquidity cycles that go from Bitcoin to Ethereum to XRP and go straight to XRP. It's already very clear that XRP is doing much better than all the other cryptocurrencies in this market. It's not as red as the other ones on red days. It's greener than the others on green days. What else do I need to say? Based on my opinion, XRP is the best choice. Jack might not agree with me either. He may believe Bitcoin is the best choice. Because he is a maximalist, he might even hate XRP, but these are the facts and he can't change them. So, I am going to play some more Jack videos now. I'm going to break it up a bit. Here are some more important things I want to share with you. Please click the like button so that everyone in the XRP army can see this movie and learn from it. Let's watch the movie By the Rules for Money. In what parts of daily life does this show up? Yes, I would say that Chicago has a lot more crime because our police force isn't getting enough money, our government is too big, and our pensions are broken. It's just awful. That should have made sense to me, right? To put it more simply, the fact that the world uses bonds as a backup asset is very bad, and there have been losses for 5 years in a row. In other words, business property is being marked down by 85%. That's why I have benefits that will save me money for the next 30, 40, or 50 years so that I can hopefully find teachers for my kids. I mean, their savings account is empty. This has something to do with Bitcoin. First, how would the US government handle this? One thing is that rates need to go down. A lot of people on the internet are saying things like they're not going to cut rates. Did you see the data on work or the data on this or that? I mean, I don't think you guys know how much lower rates help things get value. These benefits are way behind schedule. A lot of these assets are way below their levels. This is the letter that Donald Trump wrote by hand to Jerome Powell. The US government and its central bank are acting like children a lot of the time because they have a lot of bonds that aren't paying off. This includes a lot of portfolios, savings accounts, pensions, and foundations. In commercial real estate, the SP 500 index, which we'll talk about in a moment, is giving them a lot of bad news. So how do they fix it? What do I think is going on? For one thing, Trump signed an order on Thursday that lets people put Bitcoin into their 401ks. There is Bitcoin and gold. Okay, this was a really big deal. How would you start to solve this? What can be done about the savings that are so far behind? People, families, companies, states, pension plans, and endowments, how do you keep their money safe? Allow Bitcoin and gold to be saved in their 401ks. Putting less value on the dollar or reducing it is the only way out of this mess, and make sure that the wins can be owned. Let me tell you what's going on with this. I swear that this is definitely what I think is happening. Let me get to the funny part. Here is a new video clip from Besson, who is the Secretary of the Treasury. Let's pay attention. Digital goods are very important to us. The Trump government has put a lot of emphasis on digital assets. In the past, the government starved and almost wiped out many of these companies, sending them overseas. We want to make sure that digital assets are subject to the strictest US safety and anti-money laundering rules, since we plan to invest a lot of money in them. In other words, the government will back Bitcoin as a way for people to get cash quickly. Trump letting Bitcoin and gold into 401ks is a direct attempt to save the portfolios that are trying to keep money in them for the long term. You'd have a lot of junk in them, like stocks and commercial real estate. Here's the funny part. I totally agree with what Jack is saying about all this junk, like stocks and fiat money that doesn't do anything. Now, no one really cares about that. More and more people are realizing that is a huge scam. Really, it is. In the end, it's just money that is consistently devalued and printed into nothingness to the point where you lose 98% of its buying power over 100 years. It's also the biggest scam ever. So yes, I mean, Scott Passant there, I want to tell you all, he didn't say Bitcoin like Jack Mallers does. He said digital assets. Digital assets will be the way we create and store value in the future, and they will also help us get out of this broken system that only helps a few people and hurts many others and their bank accounts. You'll have the chance to find a way to handle your money that works for you. I believe that is XRP, while Jack Mallers believes it is Bitcoin. I agree with him that we don't agree on that. That is, however, the case. Before we go back to the film, I'd like to hear from DeFi Technology, who is here to sponsor it. Everything I'm about to give you is being sent out on behalf of NASDAQ, DEFT, and DeFi Technologies. Let's talk about that. What does DeFi Technologies mean now? It's a financial technology company whose main goal is to connect standard capital markets with decentralized finance, or DeFi. And they have a product that I think a lot of you will be interested in, which is why I agreed to let them be a sponsor. They have a trade desk that only deals with low-risk arbitrage opportunities in centralized and decentralized markets. This desk uses complex algorithms and market research to find these opportunities. Because of this, their users have been able to get big gains in cash and digital assets in 2024, and of course, going into 2025 as well. I'm going to show you an example of DeFi Alpha now. As an example, one DEX or centralized exchange might sell XRP for $3.20 at times, while another might do the SA. It finds the mismatch and lets you guys instantly switch and sell it for the higher price, which makes you money. These kinds of trades are called arbitrage, and their complicated formulas have let users take advantage of them for a long time. I also believe that many of you will find this useful. If you guys are interested in that, I think you should get in touch with them and find out more. All you have to do is click on the Reach Out button on this DeFi Alpha page or go to their website, link below. Also, you can visit their website and look at their other business lines. They have a lot of other choices. Thanks for seeing. Come back to the movie. In the form of an index collection of stocks, it is no longer alive, which has huge implications for Bitcoin and our future as a whole. Without a doubt, this is a new age for money. There is a huge amount of money that needs to move into Bitcoin and find a new home. This is no longer just a guess. I worked on this show for months. I really believe that. You know, if I were in charge of paying Chicago teachers or if I ran a pension plan, but now we live it. We have an order from the President of the United States. The university in question holds more than $100 million in Bitcoin. It is the most famous in the world, not just in the United States. This is yet another huge deal that I would not have believed you if you told me a year, 5 years, or 10 years ago. The Federal Reserve quietly releases a shocking piece about revaluing gold. People have brought up the idea of helping to set up a strategic Bitcoin reserve or a national wealth fund. The Federal Reserve then wrote a piece about whether or not to change the value of the gold they hold. As you know, Bretton Woods set the price of gold at $35 an ounce. Gold isn't worth $35 an ounce anymore. There is no doubt that prices in a free market are not fixed. When the Federal Reserve talked about how revaluing gold could be used to buy Bitcoin or start a national wealth fund for the US, the dollar lost value. I think we've actually already begun. So there you have it. The US economy is too big and can't serve its people anymore. It needs an answer badly. Jack Mallers thinks that Bitcoin is the answer once more. I believe XRP is the answer. If you agree that XRP is the answer, please click the like button and join my awesome free Discord and Telegram group called Crypto Crusaders. You can become a part of any group you choose. One of the great things about this platform is that I put all of my trades there so you can see them. At the end of the day, you can look at my trades, see what I think about the markets, or do whatever you want. Now, all you have to do is join one of my 2 partner swaps. Right now, BTCC is